Alright guys, and welcome back to the Saints View, the channel for Southampton content. We're back for the international break for our match preview and predicted lineup video ahead of our home game against Burnley. A big game this one, with them just below us in the Premier League table. Can we finally get that one win that will seem to secure safety, or will it be yet another defeat? We'll obviously find out. But before we get into the video, make sure you've hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet already. You follow us on our socials, and as always, this video is kindly sponsored by the guys over at Pitchport. Make sure you've downloaded the app if you haven't yet already. Right, into the video. Yeah, big game this one. We've said it for quite a few. We said the Brighton game was big. Obviously, Bournemouth, that was a big game. Won one of them, lost the other. I guess we won the more important one in a sense. But now we've got to be focusing on making sure that we're a Premier League side next year. We've got 2 games before the Cup semi-final, both of which are winnable on paper. And, you know, if we win both of them, then I think we go into that semi-final with very little pressure. I think we'd be on 39 points. Yeah, I would say if we beat Burnley on Sunday and then West Brom the week after that on the Monday, I'd say we're safe. But, of course, it's in our own hands still. If we don't win these games, then it's going to start to trickle out of our hands probably. You know, Fulham have started to pick up a bit of form. Newcastle look dire, so that might be something that helps us. And then Brighton have picked up form as well. So, yeah, we really need to win this game, and we need to beat West Brom the following Monday as well. But look, Burnley, again, one of those sides that pick up the odd result here and there. Impress sometime. I don't know. I haven't really paid too much attention to Burnley this season. They've kind of gone under the radar a bit. Had a little bit of a tricky start to the season, if I remember correctly. I know we beat them at Turf Moor, something we hadn't done in a long time. But they picked it back up. I think they'll stay up. You know, we're level on points. They're one place below us because of goal difference. You can't separate the two sides at the moment in terms of head to head. But I'd say we've got the better players. We've got the better squads. It's just about whether those players show up, because they've got players that are well known to cause us problems. Ashley Barnes, he's caused us problems in the past. Obviously, they've got an ex-Saint in Jay Rodriguez. He's coming back to St Mary's. You know, they've got some good players. Dwight McNeil scored a great goal against Everton just before the international break, and they beat Everton away, something we couldn't do. So it's going to be a really tough game. In recent years, it's been very up and down when we've played Burnley. I think you could probably argue that they're a bit of a bogey side for us. Obviously, we broke the hoodoo at Turf Moor this season. You know, they've won a couple of recent trips to St Mary's. I think since their promotion, they've lost 1, won 2, and drawn 1, something like that. So again, history suggests it's going to be a tough game. But what we have shown this season, and maybe that was in the earlier stages, is teams that we struggled against last year, a bit more robust sides who defend deep. You know, we've been able to break them down. We've been able to kind of get past. We beat Newcastle this season, beat Burnley, obviously, got a point against West Ham. Those sides were teams that did the double over us last season. So I'd like to think that we have a bit more of a chance to get something against them this season, this time around. And I think the international break came at a great time. Obviously, now we're in the FA Cup semi-final. A decent enough draw. I think it was probably the best opportunity we were going to get to go to the final. It's still going to be a really tricky game against Leicester. But like I said in the intro, we've got to be focusing on these next 2 games, because if we win both of them, then we're going to be safe, in my opinion. 39 points, I don't think we can worry. And, you know, from then on, we've got a couple of more winnable games. And who knows, we might finish closer to the top half than how we look at the moment. But the way we've played at times before the international break, particularly that Brighton game, I was really disappointed on numerous occasions. And so I don't have too much confidence for this game. If you're a Burnley fan watching this, that might please you. But yeah, I don't know what to expect with this team anymore. We were woeful in the second half against Brighton, showed absolutely no interest to go and get the winner. They went and scored it. You know, we did well to equalise. You know, our first half wasn't bad, but the second half reaction was awful. Against Bournemouth, should have scored more. Very good and professional performance, but again, against a championship side. So I really don't know what to expect for this game. And we'll get into my prediction in a minute. But for now, let's go on to the predicted lineup. Good injury news, actually. Danny Ings is back. Theo Walcott is back. The only doubt at the moment seems to be James Ward-Prowse. We don't necessarily know how bad that is. He withdrew from the England camp before the Poland game. Great international camp for him. scoring his first England goal. Really proud of him for that against San Marino. But he came back with a little bit of a calf issue. Ralph said he hasn't trained yet, but he's hopefully going to train on Saturday, the day before the game, and should be able to play. So fingers crossed. But yeah, having Walcott back is a good thing. But having Ings back, of course, I know he's not been playing his best football this season, but he's our best goal scorer. And to have him next to Shea Adams, who's found a bit of form, scored a goal for Scotland as well, it could be a good end to the season. So in goal, I think it's going to be Fraser Forster. Typical, he's had some good performances. Had a good performance against Bournemouth again. No doubt, really, now I think he's going to be the number one for the rest of the season. Then the back four, Ryan Bertrand and Kyle Walker-Peters as the fullbacks. Then I think it will be Yannick Vestergaard and Jan Bednarek in the middle. No doubt about that. In the middle, if Ward-Prowse isn't playing, I could probably see Armstrong going into a central position like he did against Everton with next to Ibrahima Diallo. But I am going to assume that Ward-Prowse is fit. So I'm going to say it's going to be him next to Diallo. Then on the left, I think we're going to see Nathan Redmond after his 2 goals against Bournemouth. Really good display, and I think he deserved that. You could argue maybe Gineppo in there, but I think it'll be one of the two. I don't think Minamino will start, particularly having played for Japan and, you know, having those miles. Maybe a bit of fatigue there. And then on the right, I think we're going to see Stuart Armstrong. Then up front, Danny Ings and Shea Adams. I think Walcott will probably be on the bench, and then we'll opt to take him from there. Or maybe Ings might be on the bench as well if he's not particularly fit. But it's looked like they've been both training throughout the international break. So maybe Ralph might opt to play both of them. You know, Armstrong's been away playing a couple of games. It's a big deal for him. He can't really cope. So I can see him being on the bench for this one. But I'm hoping we can play our strongest 11. Obviously, the international break affects the fitness of players. But I think we've got options now going into the rest of the season. So if Armstrong isn't fit, if Gineppo's not fit because he's been with Mali as well, if Minamino's a bit tired having been away with Japan, then we've got Walcott there, we've got Redmond there. You know, we've got options. So I'm enthused by that. We've got Teller as well. He would have been staying with the first team for international break. So yeah, it's completely up to Ralph, but that's how I think this team's going to line up. And then in terms of a prediction, I'm going to go for a draw. I think it's going to be 1-1. I don't think we're going to win this one, only in the sense that I just don't know with this team anymore. I really don't know. It's inconsistent. The performances in the league of late just weren't good enough before the international break. I'm hoping we've turned a corner now and we can pick up those 2 wins that we need to keep ourselves up in the league and just not make the end of the season difficult for ourselves. But yeah, I think it's going to be a draw this one. Burnley are a decent side and I think they'll come away with something. Hopefully not though. But that is it for the video. If you have enjoyed it, leave it a like and make sure you've subscribed. Let me know in the comment section below how you're feeling ahead of the game and your score predictions. Who would you also like to see start? Follow us on our socials as well. And we'll see you after the game for the match view. Hopefully after a big 3 points. Take it easy, guys.